Welcome to Queen Deluxe. Let's do some vintage sewing. This week on Queen Deluxe, I got a new old machine. My friend was going through her mother's things and was clearing out. She was, looked like an avid sewer. There were 3 machines. They were all Singers. There was a featherweight, the 401A that she gave to me, and a newer model from, it looked like the 70s. So she let me have the 401A. It is a sister machine to the one that I use in all my episodes. I'm super excited to show it to you, and we can kind of go over like what happens when you get a new old machine. What should you do? How do you clean it? What are the first steps? So let's get into it. And there she is. It looks like it maybe had been serviced before it got put away. This little paper towel. They do that to soak up any oil. Here is the foot pedal. It's all plugged in already. So this is the 401A compared to my other machine with my grandmother's. They are a little different. They have the same motor and the same bobbin drop-in. They use the same exact bobbin. A lot of the internal parts are the same. They function the same here. The same diagram on the same threading. I would assume that the oiling is the same. We'll get into that in a bit. I thought what we would do is plug it in, oil it, clean it. It looks like it's in pristine condition. It was either very well cared for or not used that often. I'm not sure which. I don't have the story necessarily behind it. But this does have different special functions than my straight stitch. So this has a bunch of specialty stitches that it can do. Some are built in, and some you put a cam into here and it will do even more stitches. Unfortunately, I don't have the cams at this point. I have my friend that gave me this machine is looking for the cams, and we'll see if they end up showing up. So first up, you should always check the manual. I was lucky enough to have a manual with this 401A. It did come with quite a few accessories. Just the cams were missing. There was bobbins, different feet. There is a pristine buttonhole attachment. It looks like it's never been used. So these little guys are different sized buttonholes, and then you would put them into this mechanism and it'll just automatically do your buttonhole. They are very precise and extremely handy. I love using the buttonhole attachments. It also came with a sewing skills reference book. So it's telling you how to start, how to sew, all the special attachments, and how you can use those special feet. So we might get into that. Who knows? There is a lot of fun techniques on all the things that you could possibly do with this machine, which I think is kind of fun. Either aluminum, cast aluminum, or steel throughout. They're very heavy duty. They have a very powerful motor and can handle almost anything. A lot of quilters love these machines, and they're highly sought after because they hold up and are very repairable. Now the Singer foot is a little strange. There is like a footrest button that doesn't do anything, and then this one is the one that powers the machine. So it is a little tricky to get used to. Wow, sounds pretty good. It's stitching perfectly. So I could probably oil this and it would be ready to go. Now, if you had some problems with the machine that you pulled out of Grandma's closet, you would definitely see if the manual was there. It will have the correct threading, what the settings should be set at for your different stitches, how to oil it, how to maintain it, how often to oil it, all of those things. I highly recommend going through your manual step by step, just like they have to set it up. I have had a friend call and said they got, during the pandemic, they wanted to make masks or they wanted to learn a new skill and they got their machine out and then it wasn't working. And all it was the tension had been messed with and it just needed to be reset to the base tension. That was all that was wrong with it. So, and I couldn't figure that out on Zoom, but I suggested you go through the manual, get everything set up to the manufacturer's settings and see if that handles it. If that's not it, you can easily take your all metal machine to a repair shop, get it fixed for like $100, $150, and it's like a brand new machine that will last forever. I love me some vintage machines.
So I have the top threaded in a yellow so we can see what's going on. We're going to do our specialty zigzag stitches. Put the bobbin in, drop in, hooks over. So I have it set to B and to L, and we have a regular zigzag. I continued trying the rest of the automatic stitches and they all looked beautiful, so now time for oiling. I'm using a regular sewing machine oil in a squeezy bottle. There is a diagram on where to put 1 drop of oil throughout the machine. This is a diagram of the underside of the machine, so we're going to go ahead and take the bottom metal plate off. There's a screw and a little felt pad. Usually these are super disgusting, so that one was pretty clean. Not what you usually find. Now the gears need grease. This is a new product called from So Right Grease. It is a motor and gear lubricant. It's a modern equivalent to the Singer grease that came with your machine. I will put a link in the notes for you where to purchase this. A bit more oil and she's ready to roll. Put her back together and all done. Thanks for sewing with me and going over vintage machines with me. I had fun. I hope you did too. If you did, hit all the buttons, like all the things. And if you like this video, there is another video about my current machine that I have, and you can check that one out too. I'll put a link to it right here. See you next time. Bye.